In this video, I will demonstrate how to manage the result of a fingerprint search. So to recap, I used this particular fingerprint to search and identify granular site clusters from within my 10 files. And I did this using a combination of the phenotype of the clusters and the values in certain parameters. The results from my search appear here in the Match tab, and you can see every identified cluster from all of our 10 samples. Be aware that the results that are displayed here are in part determined by the settings in the filter panel. So here I have set to display any identified cluster that is within the top 100 largest clusters in each of the files. Likewise, I could further filter our identified clusters based on positive or negative marker expression. In this case, however, as I have searched for a specific population, being my granular sites, I want to now extract all of these and add them to my samples in the file inspector. To do this, I will highlight all of my identified clusters and I will choose to build them using a custom name. The other options include, for example, a phenotype or a default name determined by the software. However, I wish to name my population granular sites. And then I want to combine all of the similar clusters within each file as I build them in the file inspector. So I'll choose this icon and we get the window notifying us that the clusters are being added to the file inspector, and we can see this occurring in real time. We now know the process has finished because the window has been closed and we can see all of our populations associated with our files. We can remove our R8 gate in this case, as we only use that to refine our search. And now we have our granular site population from every single sample. And these files could now be grouped. We could display all the granular sites on the dot plots. We could also access the statistics in FlowLogic and build reports in DocLogic. If you wish to search for additional populations with different fingerprints, highlight all of the current matched populations and clear them from the list. Then return to the fingerprint panel, and here you could add additional fingerprints from existing clusters, or if you had previously saved a fingerprint, we could load it using the icons in the toolbar. So if I click this icon, then here within my fingerprints folder, I have a collection of other fingerprints. For example, I could choose this macrophage fingerprint, load it into FlowLogic, and then I could continue to search based on this particular fingerprint. An alternative method for extracting multiple populations rather than defining an individual fingerprint per population is to extract a parent population and then filter to identify the subpopulations within the Match tab. So in this population, I have matched all CD45 positive cells, as you can see from the phenotype. And now we can filter using the marker expression. So if I click to filter everything that's CD45 positive, nothing changes because this was my initial search parameter. If I wanted, I could select all, choose a custom name, and extract all CD45 positive cells. If I wanted to then refine my search and identify a subpopulation, for example, it could be all CD11b positive expressing cells. Once again, I could select all, change my custom name and extract these, and I can continue on this path. So I could identify a monocyte population. You can also filter based on the lack of a marker. So everything that is a monocyte that doesn't express class 2, or I could choose a granular site population. So you could easily use cluster logic to identify your various parent populations and then use the filtering to extract every subpopulation. I hope you have found these cluster logic tutorials useful, but please don't hesitate to contact us if you have further questions.